Good Friday morning to you. There's no hauling corn again today, so I thought I'd continue with the TD9. I actually found the problem why it wouldn't start. I'm kind of embarrassed about it. It had nothing to do with bad gas. I don't know if it did the last time or not. That I can't answer, but this time it didn't. That evening I got thinking about it, and it just like it wouldn't pop or do anything, and I thought, just doesn't seem right. And I got thinking about where the diverter valve or butterfly or whatever you want to call it is in the intake manifold. If that wasn't closing off the air and diverting it through the carburetor for starting, then it wouldn't draw any gas in, and naturally it wouldn't fire. And I got thinking that I remember on my Austin Western Road Grader with it's either a 9 or a 14 engine, I don't know. At any rate, I remembered that 20 years ago that part of the mechanism would stick at times, and I'd have to reach behind the manifold and move it all the way so it would divert the air. You can't see it because on the backside of the manifold, I'll try and explain it. There's a shaft on the backside going through the manifold that I don't know how it's designed, has some kind of a diverter to divert the air through the starting carburetor, and there are two ears on that shaft like that, and it snaps up and down. And on the rod going up to the valve train that opens the valves for it to start on gas, this rod goes up alongside the engine, and there's a piece on it that sticks out for moving this valve or diverter in intake manifold. And when it runs on diesel, it's in a down position, and when you pull a lever to open the valves for the starting position, it pushes up on it, and then it should snap over center and go up like that. So it closes off the air and diverts it through the carburetor. And what happens, it sticks and it doesn't snap over center. So I reached on the backside, pushed on the bottom, and it clicked up like that, and then it started right up. I feel kind of foolish, but any of us who haven't done things like that or forgotten things, I guess they just don't work on old machinery. So I'm going to proceed to starting it and getting the cable hooked up for the blade. Now that's more like it. We'll let it warm up some. Well, I got it turned to where I want it, and I shut it down because I don't like sticking my hands in any place when there's an, in case something would move. So now I'm going to get it hooked onto the drum. I have some longer bolts I'll often put in to get it started, and then I draw it down and put it in with these recessed bolts. I have it drawn down with long bolts. I'm going to try taking one out and putting in a shorter bolt. There, now it's started. Oh, with this rope is thicker than what the rope for the scraper was. So now the bolts are actually a little too short. So I'm going to take this longer one and make an intermediate length one, because I can't have the bolts hitting on the back side and hitting the housing when it rotates. I don't want to take a chance of breaking something like that. Now I have it attached. I'll start it up again and try raising the blade frame. Oh no, another goof up. This has to be on this side of the cable or rope. So now I got to take it off and redo it. I'm not going to make you watch that boring thing again. I'm going to start it again. Wrap the slack up on the drum and then lift the blade frame for the first time that I've ever seen lifted, so you will too. Now we can take the slack out. See how nice it's wrapping on the drum? So I'm going to go around and lift the blade frame. But I don't know if it's going to go up and down properly, because you have to get the clutch and brake back here adjusted properly. And you can't really do that until the blade is actually on it for the right way. I have a feeling when I engage the engine clutch, it's going to lift it without even using the clutch on the drum. So now, just the friction of the clutch lifted the blade frame without me even engaging the cable control unit. Just the friction in the clutch and the cable control unit lifted the blade frame. But it doesn't pay to do any adjusting on it till I get the full blade on it, because that'll affect how the clutch and brake should be adjusted. So next, I gotta get my little loader running and get the blade in place to mount it on the frame.